Greetings. It's time for another vintage test gear teardown. This is a Seaward Eversafe NoGo ELCB tester. I've no idea how old it is. I'll find out more when I get it open. It's got a serial number of 052, so I'm guessing they didn't make very many of these things. Or this is a very early model. And it's for testing, well, ELCBs or RCDs or RCCBs or RCBOs now, I suppose. Although RCBOs probably hadn't even been thought of when this thing came out. So you can see we've got a 30 or 100 millisecond time test. And you can set the current in increments from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50, 100, 150 and 300 milliamps. It's got indications on here to show whether the circuit is wired correctly before you actually perform the test. So much the same as a neon test screw test plug, and then the button to actually test and see whether it trips or not. First up, let's take a look at the plug. It's another one of these Durham plugs with no shrouding on it because it predates those. That's not been cut this time though, that's still on there. And the fuse has definitely seen better days. Just zoom in on that. Hopefully without going out of focus. Look at the ends of this fuse. They're a bit... well, they've got some good contact on them, but they've got a lot of corrosion on there as well. It's another alert 2 amp fuse. So I'll be changing the plug on this anyway, and like the last tester I did, I'll be ripping this open and having a look inside before I actually dare to plug it into anything. And I've taken the screws out already. Just take that last nut off. I've taken the screws out. They were sealed shut with like sort of a hard wax seal. I had to pry the seal off to undo the screws. And inside we have this circuit board. It looks like almost like a hand-etched circuit board. Bring the camera in to take a closer look. Show the back of the switch there, the rotary switch. There's a push button which is soldered down to the board somewhere over here, and there's this one connected here as well. I'll cut these connections so I can take the board out for a proper look. If I cut them, it'll leave a little bit of wire there now, so I know where the wires have to go back to. So let's do that. Because I can't remove the board with the switch intact because the switch is actually mounted from this side. So that's got to go. And let's see, is that enough to pry it out? No, hang on. That is holding it in. And I should be able to lift it out. Now this switch will come through. There we go. So that is what's inside. Thank you very much for watching. Just kidding. Let's have a little closer look at this and see what we have. And what that thing is. Here's the schematic. And we can break this down into 3 parts really. On the left you can see we've got the 3 neons, each of which has a 100k resistance between it and the other supply, and a 33k resistance across the neon, so effectively it's getting a quarter share of up to 240 volts. In the middle we can see the current selector, which is a 12-way rotary switch with only 10 positions available, and this selects a number of resistors which are connected to the earth pin. The other side of the switch then is a relay contact which is connected back to live. So whenever that relay closes, one of those resistors gets switched in between live and earth, causing an imbalance which should trip the RCD. Over on the right then we have a current limited Zener regulated capacitor smooth supply, which then has the test button which connects that supply to a 555 timer. This is wired in monostable mode, and after a short delay as C2 charges up, it will turn on until C3 is charged up, and C3's charge time is determined by S2, which selects between a 33k or 150k resistor. That relay incidentally appears to have been made by Osmore Radio Products of 418 Brighton Road in South Croydon. They're not there anymore, but funny enough, Aussie's charcoal grill is there now. Well, that's the circuit, but will it work? That's looking okay. This is in the 5 milliamp setting, so it shouldn't trip the RCD, and doesn't. But in the 30 milliamp setting, that's worked. And it's possible, of course, to lower the setting on this and see just how sensitive the breaker is. 20 milliamps hasn't tripped it. 25 does. You can also perform a 100 millisecond test. Nothing. 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 Still at the 25 milliamp mark. So there we go. A Seaward NoGo ELCB tester. Couldn't find any information on the internet on it before. We have a video on it now. Thank you very much for watching.